Welcome to another episode of Mighty Car Mods. How are you, Marty?
I'm extremely well, thank you.
I'm also extremely well, Martin.
Good, you're looking smashing.
Thank you, Martin. You are looking dashing.
Thank you.
Now, we've been talking a little while now about making a very fast car. We're talking 11-second quarter miles. Now, how fast is that, people? That is supercar fast. You know, we're talking Porsche, GTR. That's fast, isn't it, Martin?
Properly fast.
Yes, it is properly fast.
Your average vehicle is generally not capable of that.
No, not at all, Martin. And look, and it's possible to make race cars do 11-second quarter miles, but that is not what we're all about, is it, Martin?
No, and you know, we're well aware that you could go and buy a very cheap shell, put a big V8 in it and do an 11-second, but
nah.
Really, I'm about having a car that I'd want to own day to day that can also do 11s.
That's right, Martin. You need to be able to drive around without getting in trouble from our fine authorities.
Yep.
And you also need a car that you can come home from the bingo hall with a lady in the passenger seat.
Or a few of them.
And all their bags, and be able to get back home for a lovely evening on a rug in front of the fire.
Exactly right.
Sorry, Martin, continue.
Something that's unassuming and that is worthy of the title Gramps for its grandpa sleepiness.
Now, speaking of Gramps, you may have seen the bombshell last episode when I revealed that, in fact, Gramps was not going to be the Gramps project, which, Martin, you've been a little traumatised about, haven't you?
Somewhat traumatised. I really like my Gramps.
Yes?
Yes.
There's a big problem with Gramps, though.
Jeez.
Well, we're not using Gramps. Mechanical Stig and I came up with another idea of what this 11-second project should be all about. So come with us on this fascinating, magical, and somewhat strange journey as we build an 11-second car. It's not just us. We had some help along the way, didn't we, Marty? Who have we got?
Correct. We've got Turbo Yoda, otherwise known as Al. We've got Miles, otherwise known as Dose Vader.
And of course, we've got Mechanical Stig, the good people at Castrol. Actually, there's lots of good people. So let's not give away all the secrets now, Martin, because this is an unfolding journey. But let's begin Chapter 1 of the Gramps 11-second build.
Mechanical Stig!
Hey dude, what's happening?
It's cracking, bro. You rang?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been thinking about Gramps, man.
Yep.
We can't pull him apart. He's too good.
The Gramps needs to get a big engine swap.
Dude. Nah, leave him, man.
Okay.
Gramps has got pedigree. Why ruin it?
Yeah, okay.
So I got you a present.
Wait. Dude, that is Gramps!
Nah, bro.
It's the same as Gramps, right?
Nah, man, this is better.
Why? Dude, it looks stock, and it looks extremely stock.
Exactly, man. Start again.
You reckon?
For sure. Why ruin a good car?
Does it run?
Sure. Stock exhaust. Auto.
Oh, wow. Oh, dude, it's grot. Look at it.
Yeah, it's like full old person spec.
Is that cigarette ash?
No, I don't know if it's cigarette.
That is... It's everywhere, man. Look at it. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, at least if it runs...
I don't know exactly what it is.
Oh, it's extremely stock.
Yeah, like full...
I see your point, though. I mean...
Dude, it's even auto.
Why yank it to like a turbo engine out of a car that's already done if you have to do all the work anyway?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. And what's the benefit of it being auto?
6-speed tail shaft donor. Ready?
Yep. Oh, wow. I think that's probably broken, dude.
Well, there's that, but coming out anyway.
Wow. All right. Well, mad. Now I just got to drive it to Queensland, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Maybe delete my number.
I'm back at AM Auto, the home of Turbo Yoda and Dose Vader, who helped us piece together my Turbo MX-5.
Should probably mention that Queensland absolutely rocks. It's so warm, fresh air and sunshine and seaside and stuff. So of all the places to go to do up a car, this is probably top of the list. Turbo Yoda, he's back. This is our new engine, and I'm excited because it's big. And what is it?
It's a EZ36 Subaru flat six out of a Tribeca.
Those big SUVs,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And this is a 6-cylinder.
Yep.
But it fits in the same
space in the engine bay that a 4 does?
Yeah, pretty much. It's slightly longer, but we can get away with it.
So this EZ36, do you know what year this is roughly? What it's
It's a 2011,
So a 2011 engine into a 1995.
according to this.
Yeah, very scientific. checking the year models. Cool. So I mean, is there anything interesting about it? I mean, this is a new engine, right?
Yeah. Okay. So it's a brand new engine. It's done production line kilometres, so it would have been. They pull cars off the production line and just pull them apart to quality control check them and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So you end up with a bunch of cars pulled to bits in a wrecking yard in Japan somewhere.
Yep.
And then they end up here and we buy them because they're brand new.
Oh, so it's a test motor, really?
Well, yeah, basically that's what they'd call them. But
And so the reason Subaru made these, I mean, I imagine because they had that big, heavy SUV thing, they needed to extract more power than they could get from a 2.5 litre.
yeah, well, they had the EZ30 first, which is a 3 litre 6, and
Yep.
that's also a good engine. Then, yeah, cars kept getting bigger as they do, more Maccas, more Burger King, bigger engine. So this is a 3.6 litre.
So this is the Burger King engine
It is.
of the Subaru Well.
So, yeah.
That's cool, but we're not, I mean, I'm here with you, so that means we're not going to be leaving it stock. So what do we actually have to do? I mean, you've pulled the top of this off, right? So we can have a bit of a closer look at
Yep.
how it all fits together. And that's made out of some kind of plastic,
Yeah,
right?
so yeah, it's a plastic composite manifold. It's pretty common these days. No troubles at all with vacuum or boost.
Boost!
Yeah,
That's the plan, isn't it?
it is.
Run some boosts. Mate, all right. Well, I'm gonna ask you more about this engine because I'm excited.
All right, so one of the key things about this engine that people talk about when they first came out is they've got asymmetric rods, which means the rod, the shaft of the rod is not in the centre of the bearing area. So the reason they've used that in this case is because they've increased the stroke so much that they needed to move the rod bolt away from where it normally sits to clear the case when it goes through its rotation. So people are generally concerned about the strength of a rod like that. The design of it, I don't think has anything to do with it. It's a commonly used design in big diesel engines that have a lot of need for big rods. FA20, BRZ, Scion, whatever you want to call it, that has the same sort of design. They seem to like turbocharging, so that's good enough for us. Well, they don't call me NA Yoda. So we're obviously going to turbocharge it. It's going to be what you would call a low boost, low pressure turbocharging. It's a big engine. It's got cubes and no substitute for cubes. We're going to add turbocharging to make it as the best it can be on a standard engine. We're not trying to beat R35s or Gelatos.
I don't know.
We'll give it a go. We're just trying to maximise what the engine can do in standard form. We could have just put a 2 litre engine in it, standard WRX SDI type engine, and chucked 30 pound in it with the 85, but that's not exactly interesting, so we're doing something a bit different.
So Turbo Yoda has shown us a little bit about this engine. There's a couple of things that we still need to do to it to make it work. So it needs to be wired up completely, then it needs to be wired into the car, mated to a gearbox, and then put in under the car. But there's a few things we're going to do first. Like, we've got to figure out where we're going to get our oil and water feeds for the turbo, just like we did with the MX-5, and where we're going to return it back to. Al was saying about the sump in this. There's no room to actually drill into the sump, so we're going to have to figure out something else. It's got fly-by-wire or drive electronic throttle, whatever they call it. We've got to figure out how to make that work, so we've got to get a pedal that will connect up to. So there's lots to do, so we're going to smash into it.
We don't waste any time getting to work on this engine as there's lots to do. Turbo Yoda has a wealth of experience in turbocharging all kinds of engines, but this particular combination presents some unique challenges.
Inside to see if there's anything that's going to get in the way. There's no camshaft or anything anywhere near that. It's just just the cam position sensors there, but it's not going to be concerned about having oil.
Yep. And this is the return line off the turbo, yeah?
Turbo return. Turbo will be that much higher than it, so it's...
Does it flow a lot of oil?
No, not much. Not on the ball bearing Garrett.
Yep.
They have oil restrictor built into them, so they don't need a lot of oil at all.
We need to tap in an oil return line much like we did on the MX-5, only this time we can use a rocker cover as it sits lower than the turbo's oil outlet. The rocker covers are aluminium, so we're AC TIG welding the fitting directly onto the cover.
Just missed the cam position sensor, and obviously the low. Sometimes if you put the drain near something that's rotating, that's flinging oil, you can get problems with it impeding the drain backflow. So generally you just try and avoid it. So we're trying to keep it sort of in the middle of that camshaft.
Now, anyone who's owned a Subaru would know that these rocker covers love to leak oil. Now, because this engine's brand new, we can reuse our gasket, which is pretty cool. So we've got to scrape off the old gasket sealer spooge and then put our rocker cover back on.
Cleanliness is everything when sealing surfaces to prevent oil leaks. You have to be careful not to damage either surface, and unless your gaskets are brand new like these ones, replace them. It saves a lot of heartache later on. The ignition coil wiring has metal brackets that need to be modified to fit around our new system.
So Turbo Yoda, this is the back of a gearbox, and why is this not connected to a gearbox?
Okay, so we got a 6-speed box and it just had some transit damage.
Been dropped in a wrecking yard or
just
something?
to the extension housing, so we've had that repaired by an engineering place.
Yep.
So we've just got to refit it to the 6-speed. So our 6-speed box is out of a probably about a 2004 Legacy, which had a H6 engine in front of it.
Okay.
It's what they would refer to as a long ratio box.
Yep. But why are we using a 6-speed over? Because most standard Subarus come with 5 speeds, even the WRXs, right?
5-speed box is just nowhere near strong enough for the torque of even an NA EZ36 would probably bust it.
Okay.
So these are good for probably up to about 450 kilowatts at the wheels, and then they start shredding 4th gear usually.
Okay.
We're not going anywhere near that, so it should be no problem at all.
Cool. This is a heavy thing too, right?
Yeah, it's a big box.
So we're sacrificing a little bit in weight in order to get durability.
Yep. There's not really any way around it.
Mad. Well, our bag's not putting that in the car, lifting it into the car. That can be someone else's job.
You can use a 5-speed clutch and flywheel with a 6-speed box, but it's really not a good idea because the 6-speed stuff is way bigger. It's a much bigger clutch. Everything's heavy duty. You can have a lot less aggressive clutch and still hold the power, which is a much nicer thing to drive on the road. Not everyone wants to be chirping second gear every time they let the clutch out.
I don't know.
Me personally, I don't.
We also need leakages and stuff too, right?
Yep. So it's also got a different shifter assembly, which we've had supplied with the box. We're using a GD shifter assembly off an Impreza because it's equivalent to Gramps's positioning for the gear stick. A Gen 4 Liberty, or Legacy, which this came out of, has got the shifter assemblies further back, so you'd have to chop up the assembly, which is just a lot more complicated. So all we've really got to do is reassemble this rear housing and glue it back on. It'll mate straight up to the engine, and the engine and gearbox will actually bolt straight into the mounts. There's no changes to be made. It'll just be a lot closer to the radiator support panel than the original engine was, which is not really a problem for us. We're just going to do a different way of mounting the radiator fans. They'll be on the front of the radiator instead of the behind it. Been done before and worked just fine, so all good. We got this tube and fin intercooler. I've taken it off a diesel patrol, so it's in good order. So we're just going to get it cleaned out by a radiator shot because it's just got like diesel oil inside it, from which happens. And then we'll probably get them to spray it black, and off she goes.
We headed down the road to drop off our intercooler with the shop owner, affectionately known as Old Cock. And while Old Cock made our intercooler black, we did some cleaning up of our new EZ36.
So these things are parts washer. Workshops have them and they're freaking awesome. It just pumps a whole lot of diesel or whatever cleaning solvent you want through everything, and use a brush, and it cleans up and it doesn't hurt the environment. So it's a total winner, it just recycles. Hey Al, am I allowed to paint that? Because so far you've said no to every single bit of painting. You've said I'm not allowed to paint it. Not allowed to paint the rocker covers. Said aluminium's better for many reasons.
You can paint this if you like.
I'm allowed?
Yep.
Yes.
While Al fixed the sump, Dose Vader got started on a new steering rack.
This rack's out of a MY99 WRX RA, so it's essentially what they call a quick rack. So we've got less turns lock to lock, so this is going to be a good rack for you for a bit of handling, a bit of fun on the track.
And that'll bolt straight into Gramps.
That will bolt straight into Gramps. We may have to change the pipes. The pipes aren't always exactly the same, but that's easy done. I've just had a close look at this one, Marty, and one of the rack boots has actually got a split in it, so it's a good idea we change that now. The rack ends feel okay inside, there's no excessive movement in there. And the tie rod ends feel okay, although this one does have a split boot on it as well, so we may just get another one of those just to be on the safe side.
Awesome. And so new bit on here.
Yep.
Means grease doesn't get washed out. It means they don't wear out as quickly anyway, right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Cool. So tie rod end, rack end, they wear if they're split.
Yep.
2.4 or whatever we figured out.
Yep.
Lines, bushings,
Yep.
rack. Beautiful. Next up, we've got to sort out our injector wiring. Now, Turbo Yoda has put in some Bosch 1000cc injectors into this motor, which will be awesome because we'll be able to run E85. When we plug our Haltech into it, it'll know what to do to squirt the fuel in there. Now, to make that work, we have to put new connectors on the end of this factory loom because these are for a different style of injector. We're not allowed to solder because Turbo Yoda will get extremely angry if we do. So we're going to pull this out, pin on some new plugs, and plug them in.
When these larger injectors are driven by modern ECU systems, it's possible to get huge fuel flow while still having a smooth idle and good drivability. We're not soldering because the constant heat and movement in that area can weaken the soldered joint. Instead, we're going to crimp. While Turbo Yoda gets them wired up, I'm tidying up some haggard looking parts. The cross member is from a non-turbo car and will help our engine fit perfectly.
So that's day one finished. The car didn't show up when it was supposed to, so we had to fill the time doing some other stuff. We've got our engine close to being ready to go. We've got our injectors wired. We fixed up a few little things, fixed the sump. We've got our gearbox ready to go. We're gonna put them together, and when we have the car, we'll be able to pull the old stuff out, throw the new gear in, and we'll be closer to having a mad fast car.
So you mean to tell me the car's not there yet?
Well,
It's been weeks. We organise the car, we take it down to Mechanical's dig, and it's still not there. Far out, that's slower than the meat and 3 veggie line at the local, mate.
sometimes when you're ordering an extremely classy schnitty, it takes longer. But I was assured the car would make it.
Well, I guess this is a continuing story, isn't it, Martin?
Absolutely continuing.
And we will continue it. When are we going to continue it, Martin? Next episode is when?
Cool.
Bingo?
Fine. Bingo. What?
Bingo.
What do you mean?
Do you want to have a game of bingo?